One of the other things we've talked about and touched on the programme this morning is Christmas cards. An overwhelming 72% of Brits would prefer to receive a traditional card this Christmas. Only 6% would prefer a festive greeting via social media, and 10% a text message. New research from Royal Mail proves you just can't beat the warm feeling of having a traditional Christmas card dropping through your letterbox during the festive season. They would say that, though, wouldn't they? And I'm sure also agreeing with that is Sharon Little, Chief Executive of the Greetings Card Association. Sharon, good morning.
Good morning, Melvyn.
Yeah, we'd like people sending and keep sending Christmas cards, wouldn't we?
Of course we would. Of course we would. We've got the most amazing homegrown greeting card industry in this country, and we actually have the most successful greeting card industry in the world. We send more cards per person than any other nation.
And do you think that's because different sort of cards across the year have been introduced? There seems to be a card for everything now, doesn't there?
Well, there seems to be a demand for it. People really love sending cards of all descriptions, and we in this country really love our relations cards. So for my grandma or my nan, and we really like our occasions cards. It's incredibly diverse. It's incredibly creative, and there are businesses of all shapes and sizes, and lots of new people coming into the industry all the time.
Let's focus on the Christmas card for a while. What's the background to us sending Christmas cards?
Well, the tradition started in 1843 with the first commercial Christmas card. Sir Henry Cole, who was an eminent Victorian, he was behind the penny post with Sir Rowland Hill, the Victoria and Albert Museum. He was the founder, and he worked on the Great Exhibition with Prince Albert. He didn't forget, but he didn't allow enough time to send his Christmas letters, so he commissioned his friend Sir John Horsley to design a card. Now this was before colour printing, so it was printed in outline and then hand coloured.
Wow! And
he sent these to his friends and family. He had 1,000 printed, and the ones that were left over he sold in his shop in Bond Street. Now they were expensive, but also they were quite controversial, because the scene in the middle of the card is Sir Henry and his family around the Christmas table, and they're all drinking a toast to the recipient, including a little girl who's drinking wine.
Oh, goodness me, that didn't go down well then, did
it? I know.
So at what point did we then move on to, when you think of Christmas cards now, some of them are comics, some are cartoon characters, but I always sort of come back to robins. Robins are always there somewhere on a Christmas card, aren't they?
And that's really interesting too, because robins, we've had robins all the way through since colour printing developed in the 1860s and 70s. Robins have been really popular on Christmas cards, and that was because robins actually represented the postman who wore a red jacket.
Yes, I've got you now. Yes, this was the thing of it, wasn't it? It was the postman delivering your mail.
It was, and the Victorians actually weren't really into religious imagery either. They really liked animals on their Christmas cards. They liked farmyard animals, they liked birds, they especially liked pigs.
Pigs?
Christmas pigs.
A Christmas pig?
Yes.
Well, people used to keep the pig, didn't they? That was the traditional thing as well. Certainly here in Lincolnshire, that would be the thing that would get you through the winter months. So perhaps there was some connection there.
Yes.
You mentioned the penny post. I suppose for some people, and people have already commented this morning on this, the fact that actually it's not cheap now to send a Christmas card, is it?
Well, if you think about how much a penny was worth in the 1840s. I think actually it's probably on a par.
In terms of what we'd have been earning then and what we're earning now?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, it's probably cheaper now to send by post than it was then.
Lovely. Do you still like receiving and sending cards yourself?
Oh, of course I do. I wouldn't be so passionate about my job if I didn't. I really love cards. I think they're an incredible... they provide an emotional connection with handwriting, with feel-good feelings. In fact, the scientific research which shows that the brain lights up in an amazing way when you receive a card, much, much more than if you receive a text or an email. It just goes to prove that receiving greeting cards is good for you, and we should definitely be sending more of them.
I don't know whether you'll like this or not. We've had 2 calls already this morning. One dates back to 1967. The same Christmas cards exchanged between husband and wife every year. So they're not buying a new one, but it's a fantastic story, isn't it? Really nice.
Yeah.
Lovely talking to you, Sharon. Thank you for that. Sharon Little, Chief Executive of the Greetings Card Association. What does it mean to you when you send or receive a Christmas card?